From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordo, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, January 9th. It is just a pretty yuck kind of Tuesday out there. We have had snow early this morning in the northern portion of the state. Luckily, temperatures stayed high enough, above freezing enough in central Indiana that it has been all rain this morning. But there is no secret that it's a bit of a miserable start to the day. Breezy winds making the cold temps feel worse and getting around just a little bit difficult. If you want to keep up with what's going on with the weather, of course, download our Storm Track 8 weather app. It will give you updates on the changing conditions, show you the interactive radar, and forecast the weather where you are and where you want to go. We're following breaking news on the north side. A fire this morning at the Glendale Town Center on Keystone Avenue, that's near Kessler Boulevard. IFD says a service hallway between the Target and the connecting buildings caught fire. A sprinkler put out the flames. No one is hurt, but IFD says the Staples and Glendale Public Library will be closed today because of the smoke. In Pacers watch, star point guard Tyrese Haliburton is hurt. Today he will get an MRI to determine how severe his hamstring injury is from last night's game against the Celtics. The Pacers won 133-131 without Haliburton in the entire second half. At the end of the first half, he was driving towards the basket and slipped and fell. He immediately grabbed his left leg in pain and had to be carried off the court to the locker room. At halftime, Haliburton was officially ruled out with a left hamstring strain. Indianapolis is mourning the death of one of the most popular radio hosts in the city. Jerry Wade, known as the Loverman on WTLC, died Monday. He spent more than 4 decades on the air in our city. News 8's Amisha Ramsey shows us how those who knew him are remembering his legacy.
This is Jerry the Loverman Wade, and he was known extremely in our community up until his timely death. Known by many for his love of music and charismatic personality. Now, according to WTLC, Wade became a staple in radio while hosting The Quiet Storm with the Loverman Jerry Wade for more than 40 years, and his show received top ratings across all demos. Now, Wish TV's chief meteorologist Ashley Brown and Gino Shelton both knew Wade well.
Sure that, not only me, but everyone, you're going to miss seeing him out. You're going to miss his big smile, his big hugs.
I'm devastated. I'm a Christian man, and I believe that Jerry's in a better place, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be sad. Radio personalities were like extended family members. People used to listen to the radio, especially in the black community, for hours upon hours, and so we were part of their family.
Shelton met Wade in the late 80s and told us that Wade was born for radio and working for WTLC was his dream job. Now, we have more reaction this morning. This from the Indianapolis Association of Black Journalists. It says, we express our sincerest and deepest condolences to Jerry's family, friends, WTLC, and listeners. Jerry's legacy in Indianapolis as a DJ and his support for our association will be remembered by all who had the pleasure of working alongside him. And this from a radio station WTLC. Our radio family mourns the untimely death of beloved friend and radio legend Jerry Wade. Known on air as the Loverman, Jerry Wade is undoubtedly one of the most recognizable faces and voices in Indianapolis and in Indianapolis media. WTLC has planned an on-air tribute for Wade at 7 p.m. today during the Quiet Storm. I'm Amisha Ramsey for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook.
A 15-year-old student is under arrest in Lafayette for threatening to bring a gun to school. Police say the threat was made on Snapchat just before 7:45 last night. It said that the student was planning to bring a gun to Jefferson High School today. Officers say they took the boy into custody at around 10 last night. Police say they think he acted alone and there is no active threat to the school. Wish TV is your education station. Governor Eric Holcomb will give his State of the State address tonight and lay out his plan to combat a drop in Indiana students' reading skills. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist spoke to him about the issue ahead of tonight's address.
The state's low reading score has sparked calls for action from across the political spectrum. Now that lawmakers are back in session, we're beginning to see what that action might look like. The governor's student literacy strategy would move iRead assessments to second grade. Education officials say that will help catch reading problems earlier. Students who don't pass would get summer reading classes.
The budgets that we have passed recently, including this one this past year, allows for this. and the funding follows the student.
Students who still can't read proficiently by the end of third grade would be held back.
The consequences that we have as a state right now, that we're sending 14,000 students forward not able to read, that's what we have to tackle and solution find for immediately.
The governor's plan arrived just as lawmakers kicked off the first day of the 2024 legislative session. It got quick endorsement from Republican leaders.
I think what the governor outlined, which is giving iRead to second graders, is an opportunity to make sure families and educators know how the student is tracking towards their progress and stuff like that. So we'll continue to have conversations around that, but I was pleased to see he's got the same goals we have, and it's just such a critical issue.
Democrats say if lawmakers are serious about improving reading scores, they should instead invest in programs such as universal pre-K.
If they're in kindergarten today and they're not on track, what do we need to do today to invest in them so that they're successful in third grade? Those are the sorts of solutions we need to be looking at, not punitive, blaming the third grader, and leaving them with outcomes that we know are not helpful to their lives.
There's already a bill in the Senate to require reading support plans for students in grades 4 through 8 who don't show proficiency in reading. It's already been assigned to the Senate Education Committee. At the State House, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook.
The governor's state of the state will be at 7 o'clock tonight. You can watch it all on Wish TV. Now to IT8. A Fort Wayne mother is fighting to stop the deportation of her adopted son with special needs. Rebecca Hubley's son, Jonas, turns 18 this Friday. He needs to become a citizen before then. He is blind and suffers from seizures. His mom says the government is trying to deport him back to Haiti. In the fall, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services told the family they needed to send in a list of documents proving Jonas has lived with them for at least 2 years. They adopted him in 2010, so the family sent in documents. Then the government denied his request to become a citizen.
It said the reason for denial was that we did not send in enough information to prove 2+ years physical custody because we only sent in the 23-24 school records. They only read the first page.
She says the government did not read all of the documents the family sent. Citizenship and Immigration Services told them Jonas would be deported back to Haiti if he didn't leave voluntarily. If his citizenship is not approved by his birthday, he will have to wait 5 more years before he can try to become a citizen again. The Hubleys say he will likely die if he's deported before then. One of Indiana's largest companies is selling off part of its business. A company out of Florida is buying Cook Biotech from the Cook Group. The biotech component is based in West Lafayette and represents a fractional part of Cook's overall business. RTI Surgical says about 275 Cook employees will become RTI workers when the deal closes in the next few weeks. The companies say the deal should not impact customers. The Michigan Wolverines are waking up as the new college football national champions. Team beat the Washington Huskies last night. School was seen celebrating after the game. Its first national title in 26 years. Final score was 34-13. Michigan had a perfect season, ending the year with 15 wins and 0 losses. The team's defense held former IU player and Huskies quarterback Michael Penix Jr. to just 1 touchdown in the entire game. Last night marked the end of the former Hoosiers' college career after 6 years. Tiger Woods and Nike have now split, ending an almost 30-year sponsorship deal. The star golfer made the announcement on social media. Woods wrote he was fortunate to start their partnership more than 27 years ago, going on to thank Nike CEO Phil Knight and his employees for all of their work. Nike shared a statement. Tiger, you challenged your competition, stereotypes, conventions, the old school way of thinking. You challenged the entire institution of golf. You challenged us, and most of all, yourself. And for that challenge, we're grateful. It is not clear what Woods' next sponsorship will be. The first U.S. moon landing attempt in 50 years may already be doomed. The Peregrine took off at around 2 yesterday morning from Florida, but the company that developed the rocket, Astro Robotics, says the spacecraft developed a fuel leak in just 7 hours after taking flight. The company says the fuel loss is critical and that the rocket will likely lose power in less than 2 days. Astro Robotics was trying to be the first private business to successfully land on the moon. Alaska Airlines and United Airlines both report finding loose bolts as they inspect 737 MAX jetliners in the aftermath of a blowout on board of one of the planes late last week. People who live in a neighborhood below the flight path in Oregon are now finding more debris. We told you yesterday about the door that searchers found. Well, since then, others have found debris like cell phones, a headrest, discoveries that initially left at least one person confused.
And then I remembered the accident, and I thought the accident happened in a different state. I thought it happened in California. I mean, what are the chances? A freaking headrest dropping out of the sky?
Boeing is set to hold a meeting with its workers today to talk about the investigation into the problems. Taxpayers may want to delay filing their returns closer to April 15th, the deadline, as Congress negotiates a $100 billion bill that could offer breaks to both parents and businesses. Lawmakers are still wrangling over restoring some of Donald Trump's tax cuts in exchange for expanding the child tax credit. Bonus depreciation, research and development expensing, and the net interest deduction are also still on the table. Tax experts say there should be clarity on these items in mid-February. Taco Bell is launching its new value menu, which offers 10 items for $3 or less and a new vegetarian build-your-own cravings box. The fast food chain is set to launch the new cravings value menu on Thursday. The value menu varies from $1.19 to $2.99 and features a variety of options for meat eaters and vegetarians, such as cheesy bean and rice burritos for $1.49 and the new $1.99 double-stacked taco. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 on Taco Tuesday. From Wish TV, I'm Hannah Mordo. Watch us on wishtv.com and like us on Facebook.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.